you guys, it's your girl Kamika. Welcome back to the Love Makiba channel. Look, I had every intention of coming over here and going through one of my 18 hair topics, but I figured that I would deviate a little bit because number one, I got distracted by the presidential, what do you call it? It's not a debate, it's a presidential press conference, and cracking up about how many times the president keeps saying China. And it just kind of reminded me of something funny. But also because I was still feeling a little tired today, even though I've been very energetic for most of the week. Today I was feeling a little hangry. I was on the phone with my older sister, and we were talking about some things, and I was helping her with some things. And I just kept finding myself going, okay, I'm tired. Okay, I'm tired. And I came home and took care of some more business, and then went and cooked me something to eat, and then I began to feel a lot better. And so I'm going to be digging into you guys a little bit, or needing a little bit of advice from some of you, because I know some of you have already gone down this path. And the path that I'm talking about is the path to transitioning from a meat-based diet to a plant-based diet. And currently, I have been doing this now for just over about 3 weeks, nearly a month, not entirely a month yet. And I'm not completely plant-based, but I am more of a committed pescatarian. And I have been doing, transitioning out all of my meats and cheeses. So any meat that I still had in my refrigerator at the time of switching over to pescatarianism or plant-based diet, and not just pescatarianism, I stuck in the freezer because I do cook. I cook well, and I wanted to make sure that any guests that come over to see me, if they happen to be hungry, I have something that they're familiar with that they can eat. And plus, I didn't want to waste it. And then I've also been transitioning out things like the cheeses, the meats. I had already moved from cow's milk to almond, cashew, oat milk. I love oat milk. I'm not a big soy fan, which is why you also don't see me use it in my products, because I believe that soy has phytoestrogens in it that can be good, but can also be very bad if you intake too much of it. And it could cause feminine problems. There's a whole host of resources that you guys can Google to find out about them. Soy can be very good if it's fermented. But other than that, too much soy can cause feminine problems such as possible endometriosis, fibroid tumors, breast cancer, uterine cancer. Did I say uterine cancer? Is that what I just said? Any issues with birth and pregnancy and conception and things like that. So look into it. So I've always, years ago, I stopped eating red meat for about 12 years, and I, at that time, had begun to consume a whole lot of soy. And I noticed that my bra size tripled in cup size. And it was rapid. It was a rapid growth that at first I was flattered by. Then I was like, well, wait a minute, right? Because I had such a small frame then. And then when I started to do some research as to what was in my diet and looked at the soy, I decided to take myself off of soy. Because, I was a soy latte queen. I was like a mocha chocolate soy. I was like a dirty chai latte with soy milk. Everything was soy, soy, soy. And so when I took myself off of soy, it took about 6 months, but my breast size, returned back to what was normal for me at the time. And so from that point on, I made a choice to avoid soy as much as possible, especially since so much soy is already in our prepackaged foods, that I just really didn't want to have added soy added to it, And so I've been slowly but surely making sure I've eliminated majority of it, so that I don't have an overwhelming amount of it and therefore have estrogen problems. Because another thing is with weight gain, and with the rapid weight gain that I had developed, your actual fat creates estrogen. And so I didn't want to continue to have excess amounts of estrogen on top of the weight gain that and the fat that was creating the estrogen. So anyway, recently I've decided to move into plant-based, and I have been noticing more and more that as a person that the plant-based diet is one that I really have to eat more food. I'm not eating enough. I am trying to be diligent about eating as much protein as I can in the form of beans and dark leafy green vegetables, in the nuts, the things that I've always loved. I'm going to start adding some protein powders back into the mix. But I've noticed that when I do not eat timely, I get hangry in a way that I never got when I ate meat. And all of my energy just begins to drain. And so today I was just so tired because I had eaten a couple of cookies. I had this morning a couple of boiled eggs because I still do the ovo. And I had some tea with some creamer in it, some non-dairy creamer. But I didn't really get home to really eat lunch till about, I didn't eat lunch till about 2:30. And I just found myself draining. So why did I move to a plant-based diet? Number one is because I've gained a lot of weight from, part of it is just the cares of the world, the stress, dealing with life, the day-to-day life. Number two is age. Number three has been some bad food choices. And so I wanted to jumpstart past that and get my energy back, bring my weight down, and also improve internal systems. Because one of the things that I talk to you guys about a lot is inflammation in the body. And I'm going to be talking to you about it more during the rest of these VEDAS. And so animal protein really generates a lot of inflammation within the body. It generates a lot of also hormonal imbalances in the body. And so I started to just see that my body wasn't the way that I wanted it to be. And my health just wasn't the way that I wanted it to be. And I don't have any health concerns like hypertension or diabetes or anything like that. But I felt in my heart that if I didn't get on top of it, that I could ultimately develop those kinds of things. And I don't want to develop them and then be looking for a cure. I want to go ahead and cure myself so that it never becomes an issue in my life. And back in the day, those 12 years of not eating red meat, I think put me ahead of the game. And so I want to stay ahead of the game. So that is why I am moving to a plant-based diet. Plus, it's better for your skin. It's better for your hair. It's better in the long run, I believe, for your health, especially if you have a eating in moderation problem. But at no point in this am I demonizing meat or telling you that you have to go vegetarian. I think that meat is a beautiful thing. Who doesn't like a great steak, right? But just for me in this season of my life, I have made the decision to remove it out of my life to see if it prolongs my life, if I'm able to get the results that I'm looking for, and if I'm better for it. If my mind is sharper, if I can run faster, if, my skin is better, if my hair is stronger, I want to try this out and see if it works for me and make this a lifestyle change. It hasn't been that hard. My goal is not to replace meat. My goal is to expand my palate and really learn how to savor and eat vegetables for what they are and not be looking for meat substitutes. So that is beta number 7. What I would appreciate is for those of you Makibas that are seasoned vegetarians to drop in our comment section some great recipes, recipe ideas, recipe sources, or some great best practices for becoming vegetarian in the comment section. I'm new at this, so I need to know what's going to help me to keep myself from being hungry and from draining all of my energy. How do I stick with this? What are some tips and some tricks that I need to learn? I'm already hip to Tabitha, y'all. I'm hip to my girl. Beautiful and has great recipes. But what are your tips? And what would you suggest that I do? And tell me about, when to incorporate working out, because I'm an early morning person, so I like to do that then. But tell me what's worked best for you. And so, as always, I'll meet you guys in the comment section. Thank you for coming back and enjoying this Veda number 7. And don't forget to like it and share it. Love you much. Bye.